Welcome to another episode of Josh and Kelly.
We are in a bit of a winter wonderland. It is winter and we are building a truck. Lots to get done this week. Hopefully a lot of the galley stuff and the heater and that kind of thing. But in the meantime, we are doing a Home Depot run in the snow. It's so much fun. We love it.
First time getting a truck out in the snow.
Yeah, we love it. Well, good morning. It's another cold morning. And we got a lot to do today. I'm hoping. So let's go back a step. The heater. I haven't got it working yet. I think there was an air bubble in the line and I fixed that. Well, I think I fixed that. But every time I've gone to restart it to try and do it, it's drawing too much power for the plug in the Jackery. So it's in just a 12 volt plug in the Jackery, which has a maximum of 180 watts, and I think it's surpassing that, and the Jackery is turning it off, so I can't test it. So I've got a converter coming today which converts AC power to DC power to 12 volt, and it has 360 watt capacity, so that should be enough. I'm going to plug that in, see how that goes, and if that's the case, then I will just run the heater off of that permanently, so it always has enough to draw for what it needs, and hopefully we can get that started and working today. That's my goal. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that part to arrive, I'm continuing to work on the plumbing. I'm going to try and get the the pump and the accumulator all set and plumbed into the actual PEX piping. Get that done today, and also I really want to get the main structural supports for the whole of the kitchen cabinetry done. So that's a lot to do today, but I think I can get it done as long as I don't have any major major setbacks. But if I do, that's fine. That's par for the course. We'll still go. But yes, that's my goal today. So that's what we're getting into. Okay, well, I just stopped for lunch. And let me show you what I've gotten done so far this morning, because it doesn't seem like much, but it's a lot. So that's our pump. That's the pressure accumulation tank. That's a filter. So I've got it run from the main water tank back there all the way through to here. And then it's just a matter of connecting it to the hot water tank and then to the sink and outdoor shower. But I've got these frames, two of them, one there and one there. So I've got them in, and they don't necessarily look like they're going to take a whole lot of time. They don't take a huge amount of time, but everything, every joint is glued and screwed, and that takes a little bit of time to pre-drill, to glue it, to get it in there, clean up the glue, and besides all the measuring and cutting and all that. And it's not on the ground because we need some space underneath it for the plumbing and for some of the electrical. So it's lifted off the ground, 3 2x4s worth. And so I've had to take these to not only create that, but to create stability for the framing on top of it. And so each one of these is glued and screwed, and also screwed into the floor. So it just takes a little bit of time. And I've got one more to do. So the third one's going to go right back here, right in front of the door. And then that's going to provide the platform for our kitchen counter. So, yeah, it's coming along. Now, some of you will have noticed, and you'll be like, oh no, it's a little higher than the windowsill, and that's okay. So the countertop's going to come on top of this, only another 3/4 of an inch, and we'll have plenty of room to get back in there to pull up our blinds and our fly screens and open the window and do all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of room for that. I've left space for that back there, so we don't negate our awesome windows. But so one more of these is on the plan for this afternoon, and then maybe I might finish the plumbing coming from the other side of the accumulator tank over and connect it to hot water. We'll see how we go for time, and we'll also see. It depends on if the new power converter comes for the heater, and if so, I might try and get that done, because having the ability to use the heater would be awesome if we can. But anyways, we'll see how the afternoon goes, but at least another one of those. Okay, so all of these are now in. I've got all 3 of them. They're all in. Though the glue is supposed to dry completely, but it's in. It's solid. Everything's glued and screwed, so it's solid. It could take weight now if we needed it to, but it's yeah, it's in. So now I'm working on some of the plumbing. I've got a couple of some pieces here to join, and yeah, this is PEX A. I've never used PEX A before. I used PEX before, which is now I think PEX B. PEX A is a little different. It just attaches differently. It attaches. The PEX B had a metal ring on the end, and you clamp it on. But PEX A has this plastic sleeve which fits over the end, and you use a special tool which expands it. It goes over the joint, and then it just contracts on top of it, and supposedly it's a watertight seal. Yeah, I'm going with it because I've already bought everything for it, and it's all there. But I'm hesitant. I'm really hesitant. I'm hoping this stands up to the vibration, because the PEX B that we used last time had no issues, no leaks. That was a solid ring crimp on there. We never leaked. It handled all the vibrations and all the rough stuff. I'm hoping this does too, because I'd hate to have to redo this. But if I have to, I will redo it all. But yes, we'll see. But let me show you how this works. Okay, so this is the pipe expansion tool. And what happens is you put the sleeve on the end of this, you stick it over the end, and then you literally just press it. In the end, you can just see there, it's a little wider. And then you have to put a little bit further on and press it a second time. And then usually it takes a third all the way to the end. And you press it. And then that is now wide enough to go onto something. I better get better prepared than this. I need I need my piece. So this goes on to, in this case, I'm putting it on a T, or a 90-degree bend. All right, so you can see how that's shoved all the way onto the end now, and then supposedly after 2 minutes that contracts enough to create a long-term watertight seal. We'll see. It's what I've been using for it all, but that's how it works. And yeah, I sincerely hope it works, because if it doesn't, we're gonna have some leaks and have to read the whole thing. But I hope it works. Okay, so it's getting dark. The sun has gone down, so it's probably be fully dark in like half an hour, so I gotta work quickly. But I have got the plumbing done through here over to the far side of the hot water heater, and now I'm creating a plug for the hot water heater. So this is an extension cord. All I've done is cut the extension cord off to the length I want, and then I'm going to hardwire the heater. It has, as you can see here, wires coming out of it. So I'm going to hardwire those to the end of this, and then we'll have ourselves a plug able to plug in the heater into the jacker when we need it. So again, that's the idea, and that's what we're doing. I'm going to try and get that done before it gets too dark, and then I think I'm going to, I'll call it a night after that, because it's just going to be too dark to work. So yeah, I'll get that done, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. It's another cold one. I've had the heater going in here for probably about an hour to make sure that it's warm enough to work. And one of the things I'm doing today, pardon me, is trying to get this heater going. Not the electric heater I've going, but our actual proper heater here. And one of the issues we've been having with it is that it has been trying to draw more power from the Jackery than what the 12 volt will allow. So it has a 180 watt max, and it's trying to draw more than that. So I've got a little converter here that goes up to 360 watts, so that should be enough for the heater to get going and all that. Hopefully, that's the idea. So I'm gonna be plugging this in and giving it a try, seeing if we can't get the heater to work. And I'm also gonna be building shelves today to go here on our new platform. So there's gonna be 2 shelves that are underneath the actual bench top, and I'm gonna try and get them today, at least cut out and put it in place. And then once I do that, then Kelly can tell me whether we paint them or whether we stain them. Because I can't make those executive decisions. That's got to be down to her. She's got to like the look of it. So, anyways, that's on the agenda for today. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so it seems to be this heater is still giving me trouble. I'm not quite sure why. It keeps giving me the error message that it says fuel line or pump, which means that the fuel is not getting to the heater. And I've just traced the whole line, and I've just sat here and watched it come pretty much all the way to the heater through the line. So it's getting here. So my next bet is that maybe there's something where the fuel line connects to the bottom of the heater. So I'm gonna wait till that turn off. I'm gonna turn everything off. I'm gonna take this off of here and see if I can figure out what's going on in there. Maybe the fuel line doesn't connect close enough. I don't know. I'll tell you if I can figure it out. But all I can figure out at this point, I don't know of anything else it could be. But I've cut the shelves here. They're cut. I just painted them, so they're drying at the moment. I'm gonna put a second coat on them before I actually install them, but that's being done. So I'm gonna try and figure out this heater. And if not, I have some things I need from Home Depot. I'll just take a break and go do a run there and come back and hopefully solve it. But I'm hoping it's solved anyway, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So kind of success, but still a little frustrated with this heater that we can't get it to go. But everything else seems to be going just fine. Well, it's been a long time coming, but what that noise you hear is the heater working. What I've had to do to get that working. So the only error that's been coming up is a fuel/pump error, meaning that there's not fuel getting to the heater. So check your fuel line, check your pump. The pump's been pumping, no problem. It hasn't been an issue. It hasn't been getting up here. So I took some drastic measures. I took all this apart, pulled it out, disconnected the exhaust line, disconnected the air line, and took the fuel line off. I then was sucking on the fuel line with the pump running, trying to suck the fuel through. Couldn't get it to come. I tried. So I put that back together and had to do what I was dreading to do, but in the end, it was successful. I had to go down below. I disconnected the pump. I moved the pump 3 feet down the frame, closer to the actual heater. Cut the line. Had to install the pump. Actually had to drill holes in the frame for the mount for the pump. Mounted the pump. Put the connection on. Then had to reconnect line for the space in between. So I had to cut more line, splice that in. Well, splice, it's a connector, it's a rubber like hose that goes over things and connects it. But each of these requires a new clamp on them, and I was running out of clamps. Anyway, got it all done, put it up, and I was letting it run a few times to prime, and I'm looking under there watching the fuel, and I saw the fuel coming. I'm like, okay, good so far. And it got to the fuel pump, and it started leaking. So the seal on the far side, the rubber hose that was there, was leaking. So I pulled it off, put a new one on, did all that. Finally, it's taken me 4 hours laying on the ground underneath this in freezing cold weather. I can't even feel my bum, it's numb. But after 4 hours, it's working, finally. So I'm ecstatic about that. As I've said before, the heater is by far the most complicated system in this. By far the most complicated. And to have it finally working and putting out heat, like it's getting toasty in here now. So to have it actually working makes me happy. So yeah, we're gonna call today a success. I'm gonna go throw another coat of paint on the on the shelves that have been sitting in there all day. I just haven't gotten back to them. I'm going to throw another coat of paint on them. We're going to allow that to dry overnight, and then I'll probably install them tomorrow. But today is a success, happily. So yeah, we'll see you in the morning. So here we are this morning. I don't know, we're getting a whole lot of work done because there's snow. There's probably about 4 or 5 inches, probably 6 inches in places. But it's our first snow in the truck. I've just cleaned it off. We're gonna go, of course, to Home Depot because I've got to get stuff from there. But it's our first run in the snow. It's so exciting.
Trying to show you the snow in the background. Thanks for watching our episode of the continuation of the truck build. We're getting there.
We are getting there. We've got a lot done this week, and the most important one was this heater, getting it going. It's actually quite toasty here at the moment, about to start shedding some layers. So for Kelly to say it's warm is nice. We like that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you out there.